Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. In today's video we're going to be taking a look at the newly released Legends series Doctor Strange, the Infinity Saga, Eye of Agamotto. I've actually been really excited for this particular piece. I'm always a big fan of the Marvel Legends prop replicas that they do. I think the Infinity Gauntlets are by far some of the best pieces that I actually own in my collection, and the Eye of Agamotto is actually such a cool and interesting design, and when Hasbro unveiled this I just knew that I had to get this in the collection, as at least in my opinion it looked fantastic. Now very quickly taking a look here at the packaging, you can see we've got a fantastic image of the actual product itself. Initially I did believe this to perhaps be a CG render, but nope, this is in fact the actual product. You can see we've got the Doctor Strange logo there. Of course this is more than likely being released in order to coincide with the upcoming Spider-Man No Way Home movie, as Doctor Strange is rumoured to be heavily featured in that, so I can definitely see this particular piece actually being a really nice Christmas present. You can see that this is intended for ages 14 and up. We've got the Infinity Saga. As we just turn here to the side, you can see how it is demonstrating the functionality, so it does also have this mechanism. You can indeed actually remove the time stone, and it does in fact actually stay illuminated once removed from this main holster piece. As we take a look here towards the back, you can once again see a glorious image of the actual product looking fantastic. Once again, more of the features, and then finally as we just take a look here towards this side of the box, you can once again see another really cool product image. So enough gushing about the actual package itself, let's actually crack this open and see what awaits us inside. And so here we have it itself, the Eye of Agamotto, looking absolutely fantastic in my personal opinion, and I'm sure that many of you will in fact agree. Now before we take a look at the product itself, we'll very quickly go through the instructions. Considering this does in fact have LEDs, you will require, I believe it is, 2 AAA batteries, which are sadly not included, and you can see it does demonstrate how to install them. As we open this up, it also details some of the functionalities of the product, such as the actual stand piece, as well as the mechanism that the Eye of Agamotto does in fact have, and you can also see there the removal of the time stone. Now actually taking a look here at the product itself, you can see, I think it's been painted fantastic. Honestly, this is by far one of the best painted Hasbro products that I think I own in the collection. This looks terrific from pretty much every single angle. Of course, as you turn here to the back, you can clearly see the 2 screws, which really are the only area which I think majorly detract from this very nice golden wash the entire piece has in fact been picked out in. But this is where the batteries do in fact install. As we just remove the eye here for now, you can see in regards to the actual stand piece itself, it's incredibly lightweight, which is in fact actually a trick, as you would expect this component to be a little more heavier, but I think they've done a terrific job where the paint apps are concerned. The wash truly does look exquisite, as so does the attention to detail, as well as the sculpt work. For a £50 piece, I think this is really well done. You can see it's completely hollow on the underside, and you can see the very bland base gold plastic, but if you actually take a look at this and then compare it to the paint wash, honestly I think they've done a terrific job once again for a mass produced item. Now as we just set this here off to the side and take a look at the main event itself, this is just glorious. Much like the stand, the sculpted in detailing truly is mesmerizing. It looks so impressive and really doesn't look as if though it's made out of plastic. You can see we've got some fantastic silver washes here for these contraptions, which do in fact actually holster the eye itself. You can see the eye has been detailed and painted impeccably well. We've got all of this fantastic sculpt work actually embedded within this piece, which I think looks extraordinary. As we turn our attention here to the side, you can see we've got what appear to be almost hieroglyphs actually sculpted into the side, and the wash is just truly fantastic. As we turn our attention here to the actual strap, or I guess you could call it harness, I think the detail on this also is really nicely done. You can see all of the individually woven pieces of fabric applied over the top, so we've got some black, we've got some red, we've got some golden highlights, and then of course you've got the plastic clip here, which is in fact actually splittable, so you can split this around your neck if you wanted to. But this, much like the eye itself, has also been coated really nicely in metallic gold, as well as this super nice wash. And of course you can in fact actually harness this over your own neck if you wished to become Doctor Strange. As we take a look here towards the back, you can see, considering this does have some of the legal jargon, I actually think this has been painted really nicely, and for the most part looks just as good as the rest of the piece. And then as we just turn our attention once more here to the sides, you can see completely painted as well as sculpted. And just to very quickly demonstrate, you can see how we've got almost 2 tabs here and here. These are in fact what you will use in order to slide this into the holster, and it will almost tab into place. So in terms of a display piece, I think this looks extraordinary, but of course this does in fact actually have a working mechanism as well as electronic functions. So without further ado, let's actually take a look at this. So if you actually push this switch here at the top, that is just so awesome. You can see how all of these different pieces begin to shift. The actual eye opens to reveal a very brightly lit time stone, and the attention to detail on the time stone once more just looks terrific. I'll be sure to post this in some darker lit lighting conditions throughout this review, just so you can truly appreciate how bright that LED is. But honestly, one of the best executed gimmicks that I've seen. Now, not 100% perfect personally. I'm not a huge fan of this almost groaning noise that it makes when it is in fact opening, and I would have absolutely loved this piece to have also included some sound effects. Maybe maybe that would have bumped up the price, but I do definitely think it would have complemented this super nicely and may have in fact actually concealed that really weird mechanism sound that we have when the eye is in fact opening. In order to close it, you simply just take these two sections here, twist it, and once again you can see all of these individual components actually moving in accordance with one another, and then it will in fact actually snap into place, and you'll see the button spring there to the top. So just to demonstrate that one more time, you can see how it does in fact open, and as we turn our attention here to the back, if you do push this switch, it will in fact almost force the time stone out, and that is one thing you've got to be cautious of, that the time stone doesn't in fact actually go flying, and you can see the time stone will in fact stay illuminated for quite a considerable amount of time, even though it's not actually attached to the Eye of Agamotto itself. And you can see the Scott work on this, it looks really nicely done. We've definitely got that almost crystallized effect, and you can see how that LED still is very brightly lit. We do in fact get 3 different prongs here, which do in fact stick into this piece, so you do have to align these up appropriately in order to reattach this in. So just shoot that in there, it will clip into place, and of course you can then just conceal this, snap that into place, and have this displayed upon the shelf. And that is pretty much the Marvel Legends Infinity Saga Eye of Agamotto in a nutshell. A fantastic piece in my opinion. I think the attention to detail, the paintwork, as well as the actual LED function itself is by far one of the best prop replica pieces that I've seen the Marvel Legends team produce. I thought when some of the pictures come out this was going to be fantastic, and actually getting it in hand, I am glad to say that it has turned out just as good, if not better, than my initial expectations. Of course, I would have absolutely loved to have gotten some sound effects in order to actually accommodate the LED feature, especially considering that this does take 2 AAA batteries to actually power. So it does seem slightly pointless that it is merely just for the LED feature. If you don't have them installed, the mechanism still works. So it would have been great if we could have got some sound effects. But for those of you who are fans of prop replicas, fans of some of these other Legend series pieces, then I think you're absolutely going to love this. And once again, that is just such an awesome gimmick. I'm just not entirely sure about the sound effect that the actual mechanism makes. So all that being said, that just about wraps up my review here for the newly released Marvel Legends series Infinity Saga, Doctor Strange's Eye of Agamotto. I would really love to know down in the comment section below on what you guys think of this particular piece. Is it one that you plan on adding to your collection? And as always, please feel free to let me know down in the comment section below on what you guys think of both the product as well as, of course, the review. I thank you all for watching, and until my next review, I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.